here, the Frugal Crafter. There's a really cool monthly challenge over at the stamping group that I belong to called Oriental Stamp Art. It's a Yahoo group. It's tons of fun. And the challenge master, the monthly challenge master, asked me if I would do a video on Zentangling. So we're going to do that today. Very easy here. What we need first is a piece of cardstock, and we're going to make that card right there. Any cardstock is fine. And you want some sort of stamp that's nice and open. Now you can freehand draw, and that is totally awesome if you want to freehand draw, but if you don't, if you feel like you need a little guidance, then try to find just a basic line art rubber stamp. And this is a Kimono from Stonehouse Stamps. I won it in one of the Oriental Stamp Art challenges a couple of years ago, and it has never seen ink, but it's really kind of a versatile stamp. It's very, it'd be good for paper piecing, yeah, when you stamp it on a bunch of different papers and you cut it out and then you piece it together, and it's kind of cool. But anyway, I haven't used it yet, so I thought it'd be perfect to do this technique with. So what we're going to do is we're going to doodle in some designs here on this kimono. So what I'm going to use is two different widths of pen. I'm going to use a number 1 millimeter Pigma graphic micron pen, and I'm going to use a .03. You can use whatever points you're happy with, but these are what I tend to use the 3 most of all, but I do need some thicker lines, so I'll go with the 1 for that. So first, I think I'll start in with just some simple doodling here at the top. I'm just going to go in by putting a few lines. Okay, simple, and then I'm going to do some lines this way. I'm just copying the kind of the lines of the sides, just kind of keeping my lines parallel, so you don't have to put too much thought in it. In fact, I think the whole point of Zentangle is that you kind of get into this doodly Zen-like state. It was so funny. Okay, I'm the biggest nerd mom in the world because my my son in 6th grade finally is bringing home books and need to be covered, because before that everything's kind of done at school or they get worksheets or whatever. And so I'm like, oh cool, we'll cover it with a brown bag and we'll doodle all over. He's like, oh my gosh, can we just buy a book cover, Mom? You're so embarrassing. No, we did not buy a book cover. I go to the grocery store, and if I forget my reusable bags, I get cloth. I get paper ones, so we had bags. Alright, so now I'm just gonna make like a grid here on the diagonal to do another little design. Alright, and what we're gonna do here is just kind of like some petals. I'm gonna do a petal there, 2, 3. Do this in every grid. Now it's you're not gonna fit everyone in here because of the size of the grid. You don't have that much room to work in here. That's where drawing it by hand would kind of be beneficial, because you have more room to work as much as you want. Oh, don't let me forget, I want to show you what I did in my kids class last night. We did Zentangle in the kids library class. I want to show you that. Don't let me forget before we're done here. I might be doing a tutorial on that too if you guys want. Alright, so we got a little pattern in there. It's nothing fancy. Now in here what we're going to do is some wavy gravy lines. I like that, wavy gravy. Don't worry about it being perfect. Just try to repeat each thing you do, and it will turn out looking great. So, don't worry about it. I'm just going to do some lines this way. And I already know that it's not going to come out just like the other ones, because I've already changed my my line style, because I can't talk and draw at the same time apparently today. And then I'm just going to put some lines within each one of these. Just kind of alternated each time. So you can see it's very much like doodling on your books in school. It's just doodling on your book covers in school. It's that same idea. And I do a better job when I'm not trying to do a video on it, but you'll get the idea. Alright, you know what? I'm going to just finish this row, but then you get the gist. We can do that off camera some other time. Alright, so then for the side, so just carry that pattern on for the rest of the way. Now for the side here, what I'm going to do is draw a couple double lines here. So I've got one double line there and one double line next to it over here. And then I'm going to switch to a thicker pen, and I'm going to make kind of like a lattice woven look here. So what I'm going to do, I've switched to my number 1 millimeter pen. I'm doing a thick line across and then bringing it over. So this next one I'll go over my double line thing and pull it under. So I'm just kind of alternating each time. Go under, go over, go under. So it's kind of like you're weaving. And you know what? We're going to cut this out, so don't worry if you want to go right Like if you want to go over, that's all right. We're going to cut it out, so don't worry about that. Alright, so I want you to do that exact same pattern over there. While we have the big thick dark marker out, let's just kind of go and fill in that with some black. You can make this a little bit darker of a line here to divide that up. We can fill in around these little petals that we drew with the black. Just go around each one of these and you'll have a nice design. Actually, I should put that right over there so you can kind of see what we're going for. So, you know, just kind of fill in around there. And I also want to make this band black here. And you could use, if you don't have marker, if you don't have microns, you could use Sharpies. The microns are kind of nice. We'll put a link below to where you can find those if you're interested in picking up a set. They do last quite a long time. I even let the kids use them in my class last night, which I was a little scared to because I thought they might ruin them. I had 13 kids show up for my class. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this up. Actually, I'll zoom out and show you my what we did in that class last night. This was what we did, this Zentangle piece here in the kids class. Isn't that kind of fun? I might do a tutorial. If you guys want me to do an art journal page on this, just let me know in the comments below and I can work that up. But I'm going to finish that doodling, then we're going to come back, we're going to color it, and we're going to put it into a card. So hang on just a moment. Alright, I finished off the doodle. Now what I'm going to do is just grab my watercolor pencils. I'm still loving these super cheap Reeves ones. And take your time, but I just want to get this in here quickly to show you kind of how we're going to just color this up. Since microns are waterproof, I can go right over these with watercolor pencils and they're going to work really well. And I don't have to keep even color within the lines because I'm going to cut this out. So I'm using a couple different shades of my purple. I'm going to use a couple different shades of this blue. This is like the best time-saving thing. If you know you're going to cut out your project, then don't worry about staying within the lines. So, one more thing. If I do the art journal page, because I found it was really hard to Zentangle and talk at the same time. So if I end up doing that page, I am going to, it'll probably be a sped up voiceover one. So I just want to give you the heads up because it took me surprisingly a long time to do that page that I showed you. It doesn't seem like it should, but it did. So I just wanted to let you know that in case, in case that, I just warned you about that. Alright, so water brush here. I'm just gonna get a little water out there and liquefy this. Pretty easy here. I love these Reeves pencils. They're surprisingly good quality. I mentioned those the other day. I'm just cleaning off my brush. There, do this. Really take more time than I am. I'm really kind of being quick and lazy here. But I figure you don't want to watch me do this for half an hour. And get that cleaned off, get the yellow done. Alright, now I'm going to just dry this and we'll be right back. Reunited, and it feels so good. Now we're going to take just a colored pencil and I'm going to just add some definition on some of these stripes here and, just kind of go through and make it pop a little bit more. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to do this step. It's just completely up to you. I just think it adds a little bit of a decent texture, and the Prismacolors stick well over the other thing there, the Reeves pencils. Now we're just gonna trim this right out. And in fact, I think I'll pause while I trim it out because again, boring video. Alright, we're cut out, we're ready to go. I'm going to use my old school corner rounder. Boy, you probably haven't seen these in a while. You probably have one though, I bet you do. If not, you could just round your corner, however, with a pair of scissors or whatever. So I've cut I'm making a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 card. This is, I don't know, it's about that big. It's about yay big. It's a little smaller than this and a little narrower because I took one of the matte stacks and cut it in half. I didn't want to use 2 sheets of paper because I'm a miser. And so I decided I would do that. I'm going to layer that on there. It's great use of scraps. Get in the scrap bin. So you might even want to pick your pattern paper before you color just because sometimes it is harder to match after you've colored an object. I lucked out because I could find stuff that went all right with it because I did color mine first and the original one. But you might want to keep that in mind if you decide if you want to do this. Pick your paper first, then match your colored pencils to it. I'm going to use a little dimensional adhesive here. And just put a few of those on the back. You can see Zentangle is nothing to be afraid of. It's nothing more than, you know, how you might doodle if you're chatting on the phone with your girlfriend, or you know, doodling on in your notebook at school, or, you know, just anytime you might want to doodle. That's all it is, really. You just, and the cool thing is you really start learning about repetition, design, pattern, balance when you're doing your Zentangling. And that's why I did that as a class for my kids' drawing group last night, because I knew it was going to serve them well. I hope the parents feel like their kids got something good out of the class, because you always wonder that as a teacher. You always wonder, do the kids' parents really, do they think that time was well spent? It's free class, so they're not earning any money, but you want to make sure that they're, you know, that they feel like their kids really did something good with their time. All right, so what I'm doing is just gluing down some dollar store crystals, and this glue I'm using is Beacon 3-in-1, and I gotta tell you, got this at Ocean State Job Lot. I don't know if that's a nationwide chain or not, but it was $2.50 and $2.50, and I really like it. I used to use Helmar 450 a lot until I ran out, and it was so expensive. That was like $8 for a bottle the same size, and I really find that I like this just as well. And it's, oh well, it's cheaper at Ocean State Job Lot. I don't know what the regular price is. I guess you could use like a coupon somewhere if you wanted to. Really, glue dots would be better for this, but heck, they're way over on the other side of the room. I'm getting glue all over the place here. Talk about, I should have paused the video for that. I got a rhinestone stuck to me, for goodness sake. That one's going away. I'm done with that rhinestone. I put the glue on the paper, except it's kind of like hot glue where it gets very stringy. Isn't that weird? It's a card without my hot glue gun. I think I need to see the doctor. I haven't used my hot glue gun once today. That's crazy. All right. So then this glue sets up really quick. That's why I like it. It's like, it's almost as good as hot glue because it sets up really, really quick. And for little things like this, it's kind of hard to hot glue without burning your hands off. And I want you to burn your hands off there. There's a little classic Lindsay for you there. Don't burn your hands off. Oh boy. And I am just going to use this little marker to, and the brush tips are a little bit better for this because they'll kind of reach around and get all those nooks and crannies on your rhinestone. And look at that, custom rhinestones. That's why I buy in clear at the Dollar Tree or whatever dollar store you have. I feel like I want to tint that a little bit more because then you can customize it. I like to buy things that are white or clear and then just alter it for my own devices there. And there you have it. Of course, my first one came out a little bit nicer because I wasn't trying to talk and create at the same time, but I do hope you like it. And if you do like it, I'd appreciate a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button and sharing it with your friends, because sharing is caring. Folks, I hope this took a little of the mystery out of Zentangle. Do let me know if you want to see this art journal page made into a tutorial, and I'm happy to oblige. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, happy crafting!